I woke up early, late for me, about 7 o'clock, and really depressed. You know, when the body gets depressed, it gets heavy. Tired. And I wanted to go back to sleep. I actually went down, gave somebody a banana, came back up, and went back to sleep. And in this sleep, I had dreams, and that's what I'm trying to say. I had this depression so that I could sleep and enter the dream state. In the dream state, it's the word holum, het lamed mem is the root. You can put a vav in it, and for sickness you put a holon. Het lamed mem is the root. These are the same letters as malach, salt, and bread, lachem, but holem is dream, and it actually means to sleep well. And so one can learn a lot here because, I always think that this sleep is to exchange your soul. But the word holem actually means to sleep well. And when you sleep well, you have this dream. So it has a different function too. Not only does sleep exchange your soul, but as sleep gets to the holem state. And where is that holem state? The simple gematria of holem is het, it's 8, lamed, 30 or 38, and mem, 78, and that's the gematria of mazla. And that's the highest level. And in the highest level in mazla, you can actually make exchanges with things. Change comes from the mazla area. And as I say this, now I know why I saw this as. So I was comfortable while I was asleep in these dreams. I'm not comfortable in my waking body. I'm comfortable when I sleep and dream. Because I'm leaving my waking body, my regular body. Remember, I have two parts. I have this soul that's up in the zelem, which has the same characteristics as the word holem. Because the het transfers into a zedek, and then the last two letters are the same, lamed mem. And the het is an 8. The highest level of infinity. Het lamed mem. It's dream or to sleep well. So I hope you get the picture here. In these dreams, I even forget what I was dreaming, but I felt okay. And then when I came out, it was like 11 o'clock. I went to bed early and it's 11 o'clock, and obviously my outside shell, my outside body life is depressed. But my inner life, which is so now I figure, what is it about the month that maybe my body life should be depressed? Since I think everything happens to me from Hashem, from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that there's a purpose to everything, Maybe the what do you call it? Maybe I'm supposed to feel this two-ness of an outside shell being down and the inside spirit being up. And that stretching of the bridge, the floating bridge, they call it in the Keto. And you know how it is that the further down you go, the further up you go. And my body is down. And then I'm thinking that we just had Shushan Purim Katan on the 15th of the first month of Adar 1, Rishon. And after that, until we have the new moon, it's a diminishing of the moon. We're going down. And these days, as I've said, from the 15th of Adar Rishon to the 30th of Adar Rishon are dark days. With the ability to go into the underworld, way below the line, the depth of the Sitra Akra. And that's why they tell you, 60 days of happiness. But 60 days of happiness, in that Echad, 1 and 60, Aleph and Samek. But if you reverse those letters, it's Samek Aleph, and that's the shorthand for Sitra Akra. And these days I'm able to go into the Sitra Akra. Deep, deep down, hurtful times. Going into this with awareness. Going into the underground with awareness. And that's why they tell you have to have 60 days of happiness, because these 15 are darker than ever, are darker than all. I'm in the dark of the dark. So I woke up, I actually did my prayers, my morning prayers, and then I went into the kitchen to make pancakes. And what do I see as I'm making, took the ingredients out, and Jemima pancake mix. All of a sudden on the side of the refrigerator is a spider. Now I don't kill these little animals, if I see an animal. Or whatever it is, insect or whatever they call it. So I take it on a piece of paper and I go outside. I put it outside the front door. Then I come back and I say, obviously, let me look up what spider means. Because I saw a sign. I saw a sign. In my deepest, darkest, of course, they're sending me signs all the time. Everything is a sign. When I went down to the banana, the guy said to me, oh yes, one hand washes the other. And then I come up and I realize that that's what morning hand washing is. I pour from the right to the left, and then the left to the right, and one hand washes the other. And then he didn't say this, but then the rest of the saying is, and two hands wash the face. And then after the washing of the hands, you put them together. You go like this. So everything's a sign, and the spider was a sign. Because my totem animal right now is a spider. So I received the spider. What that means, if anybody knows, has anybody listened to this long? Tell me. Because I know this symbol was sent to me. Because the spider is called an akavash. Let me eliminate it gets to 402 with the gematria, and then 5 letters, that's 407, and that's the word ot. Aleph Vav Tov, which means letter. It also means sign. There are 3 oaths in Judaism. Oath is a sign, and you know that I'm with this Arabic too. It's an ayat. Everything's an ayat. The spider was a sign. The spider has 8 legs, 8 eyes, and something like that. It relates to the letter Het, which is the infinite letter, and that's the first letter of Halum that I had this morning in that dream. And that I entered the Masla area, and then from that Masla area they sent me a spider. Whoa. There's some gematria here that's not that important. It's actually important. Spider written out, the din of it only is 620, which is Keter, which is another aspect of where the oath is. So I receive this spider. I'm supposed to be a spider now. You know. The symbolism of the spider, it's a feminine receptivity. There are some things now, questions that I'm supposed to do in life, specifics. Maybe I'm supposed to be receptive about this and not do anything, like I normally do nothing. Now this came to me from the halum, from the dream. The idea of the second part of the soul. The soul was up, the body depressed, but I slept well. And in that well, comfortable, I dreamt. I was comfortable. My body heavy, my soul light. My body down, my soul up. Same thing with the concept of Shemayim, Eshmayim. These 2 seemingly contrary opposites meshed into one. If it wasn't for this, I couldn't have done this video. A video level that's beyond belief, beyond the normative. If I had gone out and played my tennis at 7, probably wouldn't be here with this now. The idea of the spider coming, because the spider was on that icebox or refrigerator or whatever they call them now. Like 11:30, 12 o'clock in the morning here in the afternoon. So everything was timed for this. And this is what it's all about. The level of the Masla. How lucky I am to enter into the level of the Masla. And I get there by the depths, because these 2 levels come together. And that's the whole secret of Keter Malkus. And then I saw a little depiction yesterday of a Keter Malkus, where it's not that the Malkus comes and rises on the Keter, but Keter Malkus, the Malkus of Keter itself. And we'll talk about this. But for the time being, the whole idea of sleep, the whole idea of soul, the whole idea of the function of dreaming, the receiving messages, it's It's one level of message. The function of sleep, to exchange soul and to receive this message, maybe for the new part of the soul. And that everything is determined by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But for today, spider.